ليلى لا ليلى لا ليلى لا لا لا. أتعلم أنا أتعلم. إحنا في المدرسة طلاب نتعلم ويا الأصحاب، نفتح للمستقبل باب، نحيي في الوطن التجديد. إحنا في المدرسة طلاب نتعلم ويا الأصحاب، نفتح للمستقبل باب، نحيي في الوطن التجديد. أتعلم أنا أتعلم حتى أفيد وأستفيد، وأعرف لما أتكلم إنه كلامي صح ومفيد. ليلى لا ليلى لا ليلى لا لا، ليلى لا ليلى لا ليلى لا لا.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Ashraf Habib from Yasmin section, Ibn Khaldun Schools, English World Class 4, Grade 4, Unit 10, Lesson 5. Our lesson today is about listening. By the end of this lesson, the learners are guided to say what they know about the moon. Number 2, listen to a description of the first moon landing and answer questions. Practice saying, reading, and spelling words with PH. Open your Pupils book on page 106. Look at exercise number 1. Talk about it. What do you know about the moon? What do you know about the moon? Okay, in order to answer this question, I'd like you now to watch this video in order to get more information about the moon.
Hello friends! Welcome to a new video from Happy Learning. Today we are going to learn about the moon. The moon is the only satellite that rotates around our planet, and it takes 28 days to completely go around the Earth. But do we know what a satellite is? A natural satellite is any kind of celestial body that rotates, or actually orbits around the planet. The moon is never still. It moves in two ways. It has a movement of rotation and a movement of translation. That is to say, it rotates around the Earth. The duration of the movement of rotation and translation is 28 days. Because it takes the same amount to rotate on its own axis and to completely go around the Earth, the moon always shows us the same face. When we observe the moon along a period of time, it appears to change shape. These changes in appearance are called lunar phases, and they repeat every 28 days. There are 4. Full moon, first quarter, new moon, and last quarter. The moon phases are produced by 2 reasons: the movement of the moon around the Earth, and because the moon reflects light from the sun as a mirror. New moon. In this phase, the moon is passing between the Earth and the sun. The illuminated face of the moon is facing the opposite direction to Earth. The dark side ends up facing the Earth, and this is why we cannot see the moon. First quarter. You can see approximately 1 week after the new moon. One half of the illuminated side faces the Earth. It is called the first quarter because from the new moon phase, the zone illuminated by the sun grows every time. Full moon. Approximately a week after the first quarter, we can see the whole moon illuminated. The Earth is between the moon and the sun, and we can see it fully. Last quarter. The moon presents its other half phase illuminated. The name from the last quarter comes from the fact that the illuminated side becomes smaller and smaller each time. A very easy trick to know whether the moon is in its first or last quarter is the following. If the moon has the shape of a C, it is in the last quarter. And if it has the shape of a D, it is in the first quarter. So now you know, the moon has 4 phases. New moon, first quarter, full moon, and last quarter. Now we are going to learn a few facts about the moon. Do you know the distance between the moon and the Earth? Although it looks as it's not very far away, the moon is about 385,000 kilometers from the Earth. Another very interesting fact is that a rocket takes 3 days to get to the moon. It's incredible, isn't it? The first astronaut that stepped on the moon was Neil Armstrong. And this very important accomplishment occurred in the year 1969 aboard on the Apollo 11 rocket. The moon is 4 times smaller than the Earth, which is very important for the sustainability of life in our planet. The moon generates tides. Do you know what a tide is? A tide is the rise and fall of the sea level. They occur every 6 hours approximately. Well, now you know a little bit more about the moon. Very interesting, right? Bye friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the Happy Learning channel.
Okay, after watching the video, did you get more information about the moon? I'd like you now to write down what do you know about the moon? What do you know about the moon? And send me your answer. Okay, let's move to exercise number 2. Listen and point. Listen and point.
Pupils Book, Unit 10, page 106. Activities 2 and 3. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off. The huge rocket took off and went up into the sky. 3 American astronauts were on board, and they were very excited. They were flying to the moon. The moon was 400,000 kilometers away, and the journey took 3 days. When they arrived at the moon, the rocket went into orbit around it. 2 men went down onto the moon, and 1 man stayed in the rocket. The first man to stand on the moon was Neil Armstrong. The date was the 21st of July, 1969. The 2 astronauts stayed on the moon for about 2 hours. They picked up rocks to take back to Earth. Soon it was time to leave. The 2 men went back up to the rocket, and the 3 astronauts traveled back to Earth. They traveled for 3 days. Then the rocket's parachutes opened, and it dropped into the sea. Soon, a helicopter arrived and picked up the 3 astronauts.
Exercise number 3. Listen again and answer the questions.
Pupils Book, Unit 10, page 106. Activities 2 and 3. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off. The huge rocket took off and went up into the sky. 3 American astronauts were on board, and they were very excited. They were flying to the moon. The moon was 400,000 kilometers away, and the journey took 3 days. When they arrived at the moon, the rocket went into orbit around it. 2 men went down onto the moon, and 1 man stayed in the rocket. The first man to stand on the moon was Neil Armstrong. The date was the 21st of July, 1969. The two astronauts stayed on the moon for about 2 hours. They picked up rocks to take back to Earth. Soon it was time to leave. The two men went back up to the rocket, and the 3 astronauts traveled back to Earth. They traveled for 3 days. Then the rocket's parachutes opened, and it dropped into the sea. Soon, a helicopter arrived and picked up the 3 astronauts.
Question number 1. How many astronauts traveled to the moon? According to what you have heard, how many astronauts? The right answer is 3. 3. How many astronauts traveled to the moon? The answer is 3. Where were they from? Where were they from? America. America. How far is the moon from the earth? How far is the moon from the earth? The answer is 400,000 kilometers. 400,000 kilometers. Question number 4. When did the first man walk on the moon? Yes, on 21st July 1969. On 21st July 1969. What did the astronauts do on the moon? What did the astronauts do on the moon? Picked up rocks. Picked up rocks. Have you finished? So we had many information about the moon from the video we watched, from the listening we listened to, and now we could answer the questions easily. Let's move to the next question, which is, look at the pictures and tell the story of the first moon landing. Phonics.
Pupils Book, Unit 10, page 106. Phonics. Look and listen. This photograph shows Prince Sultan in his spacesuit. This photograph shows Prince Sultan in his spacesuit.
I took a photograph of an elephant. The elephant was on the telephone. It was saying the alphabet to a dolphin.
Listen again and concentrate on the highlighted letters.
Pupils Book, Unit 10, page 106. Phonics. Look and listen. This photograph shows Prince Sultan in his spacesuit. This photograph shows Prince Sultan in his spacesuit.
I took a photograph of an elephant. The elephant was on the telephone. It was saying the alphabet to a dolphin.
Open your workbook on page 96, exercise number 1, phonics. Remember, the letters PH sound like fa, fa. This photograph shows Prince Sultan in his spacesuit. Write PH, write the words. Number 1, photograph, photograph. Number 2, elephant, elephant. Number 3, dolphin, dolphin. Number 4, telephone, telephone. Number 5, alphabet, alphabet. Now, read the words. Exercise number 2, write the words. Number 1, what is it? Try to think. Yes, we have just mentioned. Yes, telephone. Number 2, photograph, photograph. Number 3, alphabet, alphabet. Number 4, elephant, elephant. Number 5, dolphin, dolphin. Read the clues, write the words. It's large and gray. It has big ears. It's large and gray. It has big ears. What is it? Try to think. You can use this to speak to people. You can use this to speak to people. Try to think. We are going to write the answers here, number 1, and here number 2. Number 3, the letters of writing a language in the right order. What do we call it? Yes, try to think. Number 4, a picture you take with a camera. Here, number 4. Number 5, it's gray and it lives in water. It's gray and it lives in water. Here, number 5. You are going to see the answers in few seconds. Page 97, use of English. At last the day of the flight, or at last the day of the flight arrived. Read this. This is wrong and this is true. Read. At last the day of the flight. This group of words doesn't make sense. It doesn't give a meaning by themselves. It doesn't tell us a complete idea. Some information is missing. But when I say, at last, the day of the flight arrived, this group of words makes sense. It tells us a complete idea. The verb completes the information. The verb completes the information. So we have 2 sentences. The first one is incorrect. It doesn't give a complete meaning. And the second one, it has a complete meaning by adding the verb. By adding the verb. A sentence must make a sense. A sentence must have a verb. So we have to concentrate on this. A sentence must make a sense. A sentence must have a verb. Exercise number 2. Underline the verbs in these sentences. It was hot yesterday. It was hot yesterday. Where is the verb? Yes, was. Underline was. Number 2. Omar answered the question. Omar answered the question. Where is the verb here? Answered. Very good. Number 3. We had a lot of homework yesterday. We had a lot of homework yesterday. Where is the verb? Yes, very good. Had. Number 4. There is a horse in the field. There is a horse in the field. Where is the verb? Is. Wonderful. Exercise number 3. Circle the two groups of words without a verb. Circle the two groups of words without a verb. Number 1. At 8 o'clock in the morning. Is there a verb here? No, so circle this sentence. Number 2. Miss Evans read a funny story to the class. Yes, we have a verb here, so leave it. This is my book. Is there a verb here? Yes, here is a verb. And the 4th one, under the tree, at the top of the hill. Is there a verb? No, so circle this. So the answer, number 1 and number 4. Exercise number 4. Complete the sentences, write the verb. Number 1. The dolphin jumped right out of the water. So the missing verb here is jumped. Number 2. At 6 o'clock, I did my homework. Very good. Number 3, 4, 5 will be your own homework. Until I see you, I wish you all luck.